Hey everyone, it's Laura. Welcome to Mask Monday. As you can see, I have my mask on already. I do have some eye patches on, but you can't see them because they're like clear gel ones. And they're these Tony Moly lemon ones. And it's very drippy. That's why I have my hand under it. I got this from the BoxyCharm Mega Drop Shop or regular drop shop. I don't know. From BoxyCharm last month. And then the sheet mask I have on is this Esfolio honey mask that I got from Miss Andy from Andy Does Stuff. And it smells and feels amazing. I really like these. I think I've seen these at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, and I hate to buy any because I have so many masks, but these are some of my favorites other than the Creme Shop. But I love a honey mask because of my skin type. It just works really well for me. So thank you, Andy. And I'm going to be doing the Get to Know Me questions that she did on last week's Mask Monday. So I thought it was appropriate to do a mask that she gave me. But first I want to show you guys just a couple of quick pieces of friend mail that I got. This just came today from Kim, from Kim's Happy Place. And look at the cute stickers. So I obviously haven't opened it yet. So let's open this up. And I just fed the cats so that they would leave me alone, but I can hear them outside the door. Buttheads. One of these days I'm going to organize this room a little more and then they can come in and out without like knocking stuff over. Oh, I know what this is for. That's so cute. It says, hooray, super cool, outstanding with little trees on it. And then it says, tree cheers for you instead of 3 cheers for you. Aww. And instead of drawing roses, look, she drew balloons in all different colors. And then there's stickers that say yes, a smiley face and some hearts. Aww, and said, yay, congrats on hitting 1K. Woot, woot. She always says that. Love ya, Kim. Thank you, Kim. That is an adorable card. I love that. Thank you. I will be putting that up. And then yesterday I got a package from Keurig and I'm like, I didn't order anything from Keurig. Last week, Mary from Mary Catherine Loves Cats told me to consult her before I buy anything within the next 5 to 7 business days because she was sending me something. She said just a little something happy or a little happy, I think is what she called it, because I have been whining and complaining about Aldi not having a coffee advent calendar. She sent me a Keurig one. Wasn't that so sweet of her? 24 cups of cheer. And this was all that was in, it came in a big outer box. I opened the box because it just had my name on it and I wasn't expecting anything. And then when I saw the packing slip inside, it had Mary's name on it. So that's how I knew what she got me. And ironically, I was going to buy one at Target over the weekend. And the Target out here, the kind of the closest one to my house, the power went out because we had bad windstorms. So it's probably a good thing because Target has a version too. And I wouldn't have consulted Mary beforehand. I was just going to buy it. So anyway, thank you, Mary. And let me just quick show you some of the flavors. Look how cute this is. So I'm not going to do like a daily, Advent series like I did last year, just because it's a lot to film each day. But I'll probably take pictures of each flavor and put that either in a community post or on my Instagram or both. But it's so cute. And I think it names what some of the flavors are. Somewhere I saw it. Oh, maybe not. I saw up here where they give the calorie information. It said like Swiss Miss milk chocolate flavor hot cocoa mix is 70 calories. So obviously there's one of those in there. And then the original Donut Shop coffee red velvet latte mix is 100 calories. That sounds amazing. So I know that's at least one of the flavors, but here it lists some of them because it gives you like ingredients and stuff. There's dark chocolate hazelnut, a Sumatra blend, a Newman's special blend. Ooh, there's one that's called Duo's Nutty and Caramel, white chocolate and vanilla. So yeah, it'll be a surprise because it doesn't list all of them. Like the Aldi's one listed all of the flavors on the back, but you just didn't know what order they were in. This one, it only listed just because of I'm assuming for allergies and stuff like that, they have to kind of tell you. So I'm not going to know what they are till I open it. So I'm so excited. Thank you, Mary. That was super, super sweet. And now I can stop whining about not having a coffee advent calendar. See, I used to subscribe to Keurig to get coffee cheaper and they would mail it to me every month, but I stopped it a couple of months ago. So that's why when I got the box, I was like, and I opened it right away. Normally, if I get an unexpected box, I usually assume it's like friend mail, but in this case, it didn't occur to me. But anyway, thank you, Mary. Thank you, Kim, for the adorable card. It's so funny. It's so sweet. Thank you. So now I'm going to try to get through these get to know me questions because we're already 5 minutes in. And this mask is supposed to stay on for 15 to 20 minutes. So that sounds about right. Okay. So these are the questions that Andy did last week on her Mask Monday, and she tagged me in it. So I'm going to do these get to know me questions. First one is, what does my name mean? And darn it, I meant to look it up before I started, but I know it comes from laurel, which is a flower. So it's like a type of flower. What is my sign? I'm a Taurus. What is my shoe size? 8.5. Sometimes I can get away with an 8. Sometimes it's a 9, but generally it's 8.5. Do you have a birthmark? I have a couple of birthmarks on my side, like moles / birthmarks, like on my, like on my side. Pets, yes. Yes, please. I have 3. If you've watched me for some time, you know I have a dog, Coco, and then I have 2 cats, Dolly and Prince. Something I was teased about as a child. A couple of things. I was called Bug Eyes, which since I've gained weight, my eyes don't look as big as they used to. But I had big eyes as a kid. And then when I was fairly young, I want to say 6 or so, I broke my nose. My best friend broke it by accident, but in an accident it broke, and then I had a big bump on my nose. You know how kids are. They're relentless. They teased me nonstop. And I had my nose fixed when I was in my 20s. But yes, so I was teased about that. 3 biggest fears. Something happening to, Ricky or my parents, any of my loved ones. That's only one, but those are probably the biggest ones. I am a little bit afraid of heights, but I do fly. I don't like snakes unless they're like real little. But I wouldn't say that's like a big fear of mine, but I'm claustrophobic big time. So that's one. We'll just leave it at that. Smell that reminds me of childhood. This is going to sound so random, but Dawn dish soap, because my grandma always washed the dishes with that. And then sometimes when my parents would go out of town, we would stay like at her house, like they would go on vacation and we'd stay with grandma. And she would let me take a bubble bath because my mom hardly ever did. And it was with that. She would use Dawn dish soap for my bubble bath. So that smell just reminds me of my grandma. She was awesome. Best grandma ever in the whole world. Better than anyone else's grandmas. In my opinion. I'm a little biased, but she was the best. It was my dad's mom. Have you ever met anyone famous? Yes, many people, because my husband is an autograph hound. So I have met several famous people, mostly sports people. But they're relatively fit. Like if you're not into sports, you might not know who some of them are, but we've met Christian Yelich, Bob Uecker, Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, Cecil Cooper. These are mostly Brewers players. I've met from the Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, MVP, 2-time MVP. Let me think who else. Gosh, I have met a lot. Reggie Jackson, famous ball player from the 80s for the Yankees. I met him. Dozens and dozens and dozens. So a lot. And then I've met some but one's a politician, and I don't want to mention that because I don't want to get into politics on my channel because I try to stay away from that stuff, but I've met a famous politician also. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. I feel like there was an actor that I met, but I can't think of who it is. If I think of it, I will chime in later, but that's all I can think of right now. How many children? None, unless you count fur babies. Favorite breakfast cereal? I don't eat breakfast cereal anymore, although I love it, only because I've developed lactose tolerance over the years. And I know you can have it with Lactaid, but there's something about the combination of, even with Lactaid, milk and the sugary cereal, that it makes me completely sick to my stomach. I can eat cereal without milk. What's the fun in that? But so what used to be my favorite breakfast cereals, probably Crunch Berries or Corn Pops. Gotta have my Pops. I loved those. Um, those are probably my two favorite. Do you have any scars? Yes. And then the next question is, how many surgeries have I had? So the two kind of go together, but I have a big scar on my big toe because I cut it. Dropped a glass and cut my toe. And then I have a big scar on the other foot on my heel. I cut that open when I was in high school. So I have those two scars. And then the rest are from various surgeries. I've had four surgeries, both knees scoped, and I had my nose done. I don't really have a scar, but kind of. There's a little, you can kind of see it there. And then I had my stomach surgery. So 4 surgeries. Three biggest pet peeves. Oh, I could name way more than 3, but my all-time biggest pet peeve is being interrupted. I just think it's the rudest thing when someone talks over you. They ask you a question and they don't even let you answer because they start telling a story about themselves. It's so rude. So yeah, that, just rude people in general rubs me the wrong way. Excessively loud people. I think I have sensory issues. If I'm in a crowded room, and a lot of people are talking at the same time, my ears start to ring. So yeah, really loud people, rude people, being interrupted. Those are probably my biggest pet peeves. What kind of car do I drive? I have a Toyota Camry. What traits do I find attractive in a mate? I think these are the same answers everybody has. Sense of humor, intelligence, but it's true. And confidence, but not, I don't like anybody that's cocky, but I want someone that's confident. And Ricky is all those things. And kindness. He has a kind heart, but he's not a pushover. There's that fine line that you have to walk. And I think he does an awesome job with that. So, he and I are the same height. He'd like to tell you he's taller than me, but he's not. But there was a time when I was always say I was attracted to a tall man, and ended up, meeting the person that's, to me, my perfect mate, and we're the same height. So to me, the looks, he happens to be very handsome, though. Don't get me wrong. I lucked out in that department, but that was secondary. It was everything else about him. But anyway, how old was I when I got my driver's license? I was 18. I was a senior in high school. It was right before graduation. Your first pet. So I don't know if they mean first family pet, because we had a dog when I was growing up. His name was Buffy, and he was the best dog ever. He was so sweet. And then I always wanted a kitty. So when Buffy, went to cross the Rainbow Bridge, we ended up getting a cat, and I named her Lovey. I know it's a silly name, but I was 12. And then when I was older, when I got my own pets, I had 2 cats. I had Milo and Emily. So I don't know which ones you would consider. My first overall pet that I grew up with was Buffy. And then the first pet that I got on my own was actually 2, and that was Milo and Emily, my 2 kitties that I had before our current ones. Let's see, next one. The sickest I've ever been. That's kind of a toss-up between when I had mono when I was about 19 years old, because I was in bed for like 3 days straight, and when I had COVID just this past year. I was super sick, and I'm vaccinated. It could have been much worse. If I wasn't vaccinated, it would have been horrible. But there was about 2 days where I couldn't move. I was just so achy and so congested. But probably, now that I think about it, I think I was a little bit sicker with mono, because I was out of work for like 2 weeks. So that was probably the sickest I've ever been. That was not fun. Do not recommend. 0 stars. Favorite slang word that I use often? I didn't think about this one ahead of time. Probably cool. I say cool a lot. That's cool. Something I do that bugs my kids. Well, I don't have kids, but I love to bug the fur babies. because I'm mean. Like, I like to wake them up when they're sleeping because they do that to me. And then Coco is not scared of like thunder or fireworks. Like, she doesn't give a crap about that stuff. But if I sneeze or Ricky sneezes, she runs for the hills. So sneezing really annoys her for whatever reason or scares her. Favorite candy bar, Snickers or Baby Ruth, probably. What makes me the most anxious? I get anxious at work sometimes because I'm still like learning stuff and I'm always afraid I'm going to mess up something. So overthinking that I about worrying about making mistakes. I don't do that so much with YouTube, but just in my work life, that's what makes me anxious. Biggest comfort food, probably chips, potato chips, chips and dip, nachos, that kind of stuff. Nicknames my husband calls me. He calls me honey, baby, Cuddlebug. That's so embarrassing, but he does. We like to snuggle, can I say? Sunrise or sunset? I would say sunset. I do love the sunrise, though. I am up early enough to see it. We don't get the prettiest sunrises here just because of, I'm in the city. But the last time I was in Florida, I woke up every morning and saw the sunset. And it's amazing. Beautiful. Favorite song of all time. Okay, this one's going to take a little while. I'm going to try to speed this up. I couldn't pick just one, so I tried to think about who my favorite artists are and favorite genres of music and pick a favorite song from that. So, not that this is one of my favorite artists, but one of my favorite songs is Your Song by Elton John. Love that song. Something by the Beatles. My Girl. I love My Girl. Suspicious Minds by Elvis. I always love that song. That reminds me of like road trips when I was a little kid, because that song came out in the late 70s and I remember it blaring and we'd be singing along in the car, with my mom and stuff. By Stevie Wonder, As. I love that song. You Are by Lionel Richie. I don't know why, but I just love that song. And then I was thinking about my favorite Prince song because, I love Prince and named a cat after him, and that would be Let's Go Crazy. And then I was thinking about my favorite Dolly Parton song, and it's not Jolene, and it's not 9 to 5. It's actually Hard Candy Christmas. And I know it's from The Best Little Blank House in Texas, the movie. That's where the song is from. But that song just makes me cry every time I hear it. I love it. It's so heartfelt. It's a beautiful song. I do like I Will Always Love You too, Dolly's version and Whitney's, but Hard Candy Christmas. I know it's probably a weird pick, but so those are some of my favorite songs. I could come up with dozens more, but I was trying to jot down some notes, so that's what I wrote down. Most annoying sound in the world. I don't like the sound of car alarms. You don't hear them that much anymore, but, and my next door neighbor, when he's bumping his music and my walls are vibrating, that. Bravest thing I've ever done, switching careers at 50, I guess, or going back to school. I went back to school when I was almost 40, to get my master's. Any living grandparents? No. I'm 50 years old. No. Something I would love to learn how to do. Well, I kind of know how to play the piano a little bit. I wish I was better. So, have I ever been in a play? Only at my church. Like when I was a little kid, we always did Christmas plays and stuff, and I was always in them. It wasn't good, but yeah. First heartbreak. The first guy I dated, got out of high school when we broke up. It's not an exciting story. We just broke up, but it was, it was a heartbreak. Biggest regret, wasting time with an ex that, I keep thinking I could have met Ricky sooner, but, I suppose things fell into place the way they were, but like we dated and we moved on and then we got back together. Ugh. Don't get back together with your exes. There's a reason why you guys broke up in the first place. That's my advice. Favorite ice cream flavor has got to be chocolate chip cookie dough. Best advice someone has given me. I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. My dad gives me a lot of advice, but it's not usually good advice. Some of it's like just jokes. So I don't know. I'll think about it. If I think of something, I'll put it in I'll pin it in a comment or something. Do I believe in ghosts? Yes and no. Kind of, sort of, maybe. That's my answer. And best and worst phase of my life. When I broke up with that ex that I was talking about, that was the worst. The best, when I got together with my husband, when we were dating. Even now, I mean, things are pretty good. And yeah, there's always some, things aren't great all the time. We have some family drama, but, being married it's pretty awesome most of the time. So I have been rambling for 20 minutes. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to take this off. Thank you for the mask, Andy, and for the tag. This mask feels great. And thank you to Miss Mary for seeing if the eye mask came off. For my coffee advent calendar. I'm so excited. I really wanted one, so thank you. And thank you to Kim from Kim's Happy Place for the beautiful card. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Sorry this was such a long video, and I will see you on my next one. Oh, and stay tuned for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I promise I will have that up. If not tomorrow, I will have that up Wednesday. And then I got the Essence advent calendar. I haven't opened that yet, so I'll have that up in a day or two as well. So, all right, thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.